Today we're going to show you how to change the drive belt on your washer. It's a really easy job, and all we're going to need is a putty knife, a 3/8 socket with a ratchet, and a 3/8 wrench. And you should also have a pair of safety gloves, just in case. Let me show you how we do it. Now the first step in this repair will be to disconnect the power to the appliance, so simply unplug it from the wall. Then with our putty knife we're going to insert it between the main top and the front panel. About 3 inches in from the side. You'll feel a little resistance. There's a spring clip there that we need to disengage from the front panel. So once you get the putty knife under that clip, you can just pull out gently on that front panel and do the same thing on the opposite side. And let the front panel tilt towards you, and then we'll lift it up from the bottom. There are 2 slotted openings in the bottom of that front panel that fit on a couple of clips on the base frame. We can set the front panel aside. Now with the front panel removed, and if the belt is still on the drive pulleys, we're going to need to remove the old belt first. So we're going to loosen the 4 bolts that hold that motor to the mounting plate. They're 3/8 bolts, so if you can find the right length of extension to get the rear bolts with a ratchet, you can do all 4 of them with a ratchet. Otherwise you will need a 3/8 wrench to get at the 2 rear bolts. Once we've loosened those and got the belt off, we can replace the new one. Now because there are some sharp metal edges in here, it's a good idea to put some protection on your hands. Then we're just going to loosen these 4 bolts. And once we've loosened them enough, we can push that motor back, and then we can roll that belt off of both pulleys and discard it. Now before we install the new belt, we'll check the pulleys and make sure there are no rough spots on them. And if there are, we'll need to take a little sand cloth and clean those up. And we're going to slide the new belt all the way to the back, and then we'll engage it on that rear pulley, and then we'll rotate it onto the front pulley. And next we need to pull the motor forward and tighten the belt, and also tighten the 2 front bolts to hold it in position. So just reach in behind the motor, pull it as far forward as you can, and snug up those front bolts. And we need to make that belt as tight as we can, so if you need an extra set of hands, now's the time to enlist a second person. Now before we tighten the bolts securely, we do want to make sure that that belt is good and tight. Just check the tension on it. There shouldn't be much deflection on the side of that belt. Once we've determined that it's tight, we'll snug up all 4 bolts, make sure they're good and tight. Now we're ready to reinstall the front panel. Now to reinstall the front panel, we want to line those rectangular slots up with the 2 mounting clips on the bottom. We'll set those down into position. And we're next going to line up these locating pins with the openings in the front panel, as well as the 1 locator pin on the right hand side. So you may need to lift up slightly on that front panel to line those up. Once you have them completely lined up, and we're just going to bump that front panel until it engages those spring clips. And we're ready to reconnect the power, and our repair is complete.